All right, Spider Loc, how's it going, man?
Oh man, everything is beautiful as usual. How about yourself?
Good, man. Just getting it in.
That's right.
Former member of G Unit, former member of Death Row. Man, that's what's up. Not a lot of people. I don't think anybody else has those credentials.
That's deep, right?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. How was your time at Death Row?
Man, in hindsight, it was more to appreciate than I think I realized as it was going on. Being that I was on a label with artists that were, I would say, a little bit more high profile and actually in the system. Shout out Crooked Eye, the homie Eastwood. Shout out Lisa Left Eye Lopez, the late great. But I wasn't satisfied with the progress that was happening while I was at the Row. So much so that it got to the point where, shout out John, they used to run the website, the Death Row website. And because Death Row had a website and we were artists affiliated with the label, we all had our own portion. And when you go to the Death Row website, you could click on my name, then it was like my website. I had my own section, my own page. And as I had been politicking as a Row artist for quite some time, I started realizing doors was getting closed in my face, more so than being open as a result of being affiliated with Suge and his brand. So I had requested that the guy, John, that was running the website, I asked him, I had developed a pretty casual rapport with him as he helped me develop my portion of the website. So I just directly asked John, I'm like, hey man, can you take me down off that website, man? I don't want to be on it no more. And John's reaction was, whoa, I can't make no changes like that unless somebody from the office gives me permission, Spider. You got to ask somebody over there and then let them tell me and I'll do it. So if you can imagine me, I met Suge shortly after coming home from prison at one point in my life. And when I came home from prison, then I was awaiting his arrival.
What'd you go to prison for?
At that time, I think it was ex-con in possession of a firearm.
Okay.
So I did 32 months with 80%. So I got out, and I remember the hot news on the actual news on television was Suge Knight is going to be released from prison soon. And I can remember telling people, when he get out, I'm going to make sure I meet him in 30 days. When that nigga Suge get out, I'm going to make sure I meet him in 30 days. Because I remember it was a common question at that time for people just to ask you, hey, would you fuck with Suge? And I knew it was technically the wrong answer, but I used to always say, hell yeah. Even though you would be like, man, that's Suge Knight, and everything you would see from afar, that's just that's the way I face everything in my life, So it's like, hell yeah, I'd do it, fuck it. So then when it got time to where I was out, and then I knew he was like the black sheep, I'm like, fuck it. When he get out, I'm gonna make it my business to meet Suge within 30 days.
Around what year was this?
This had to be like 99, 2000.
Okay. This is right after you got out of jail?
I paroled in 99 the last time, yep.
Okay.
Yep. So within that, yep, right. It was 99 then. So, however, when Suge actually paroled, the first 30 days, I didn't make 1 inch of effort to try to meet him. I had been declaring everybody that I was going to make sure I met him within the first 30 days. But the way I was living, active in the streets, moving around, doing other things, I didn't even make 1 effort to meet Suge Knight after he had got released. I don't know if it had been 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but before the 30 days was up, I got a phone call saying Suge Knight wants to meet you. Yeah, it's a type of magic that's been attended to my hip-hop journey. I have stories that precede that are just as magical, involving Dub C and Russell Simmons and Def Jam West and all that, but I'm going to stick to the subject. So when I went to meet Suge, I met him, and I asked him at that point when I realized it wasn't really going my way, it wasn't the best thing, because when he got out, he wasn't really able to establish himself as a brand anymore. We see it never happen.
Right.
And I watched him realize that was going to be. He came home with all the aspirations of picking up where he left off, and I was invited to participate in that campaign. But after a couple of years, it was obvious it wasn't flowing like he thought, and I had to find the courage within myself to walk away from the biggest thing in the industry that I could ever imagine being close to. I'm a nigga from Compton, fresh out of prison, with a dream and a talent, a gift, and I had put it and I thought that I had made it to the level of the game that I was going to be able to make it to as far as the majors. And here it is, it's not working out. How the fuck do you walk away from this? If you walk away, watch two months from now, shit gonna get it cracking, and you're gonna feel like you didn't walk away. You shouldn't have walked away. When I walk away, where am I gonna go? I'm finna go back to these garage studios with these other nobody niggas. Fuck it. I had to swallow the lump in my throat and ask Suge. I'm like, hey, my nigga, like, it's really coming to a point where I feel like it'd be better for me to be not affiliated with your label officially like that. I want to ask John to take me off the website. And surprisingly, Suge's reaction was real cooperative. He understood, you know, what position he was in. His hands was pretty much tied. And he just basically expressed to me that if he did get it right and I wasn't all the way satisfied with whatever I had going on, then we gonna do it when that came. No love lost. We parted ways amicably like men, the way business should be conducted. So that's why I say your question was, how was my time at the Row? I said I appreciate it more in hindsight than I did as it took place because I left as not being satisfied. But as my journey has gone beyond that and had more experiences with other individuals, and I look back on what it actually did for me and some of the things that I experienced, I appreciate it more.
So about how long were you working with Death Row?
I look at it as, I'm sure it wasn't 24 months, but I always refer to it as 2 years.
About 2 years? And so we've all heard a lot of stories about Suge. Do you think Suge gets a bad reputation?
I think he gets a reputation that might not exactly describe him, but I wouldn't call it bad because I believe he begged for it. I think he kind of like, in a lot of ways, represented himself to be more of a lot of things than he actually was, and then he tried to fulfill that reality, and then he ran into some obstacles.
Did you see, was there any, because we heard the stories about Suge making people drink piss.
Oh, nothing of that nature.
You never seen nothing like
Anytime
that?
I ever been around Suge Knight and there was some type of physical activity going on, I was the one that initiated it. But we've been in the parking lot in Las Vegas, pretty popular incidents where, people were there and things happen. And even in the parking lot, I'll share this with you. Matter of fact, I don't want to say nobody else's name. That's going to make nobody feel bad, but I have never seen him. I've heard the same stories you heard. When I was affiliated with Suge, anytime I have been aware of any type of incident, of any type of altercations that actually turned physical, not only was I involved, I was the one that caused them to turn physical. Not against him. And we were on the same side of the issues, though.
Right. Okay.
I seen Suge make two producers fight. That was odd because, Suge is Instigator, and we all have a little instigator in us. And shout out to Mark Sparks and my nigga Doug. They were two transplants from out of town producers with pretty good placements that were best friends. And jockeying for this industry and a spot in this game fell in the hand of Suge, and he played them one to another and had them niggas fighting like dogs, best friends fighting in front of everybody, man. Y'all knew better. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how do you get him? How do you get him?
I don't know what they politic was. I know we was hanging out in the parking lot one day, and they came down as a trio from off the elevator with the argument going, and then the next thing you know, it was on. And shit, we just smoking a cigar, just, you know what I'm saying? We had to pull them off each other. And,
okay.
Yeah, but they was best friends from a whole nother state and came out here chasing their dream, been politicking, maneuvering, and then ended up at that point.
Oh, okay. Did they squash it afterwards?
I'm not sure. But from my awareness of the relationship they had, I would assume they did, but I can't speak to whether to say or not.
Okay. A lot of people don't know that Suge did a lot of good things, too.
Such
for the hood.
Such as?
Well, this is what I heard. So I can't say I've seen it. That's why I'm asking you.
No, you said you've heard. I'm curious as to what have you heard that he's done?
Well, I heard he bailed a lot of people out of jail when they needed it.
You call it. You said those are good things. That may be good to the person that got bailed out, but that's the activity of a bad guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to see when a person steps out in the world and proclaims to be bad guy. I would do him a discredit to start trying to detect from that. Suge has never come out to the public and say, "Hey, I'm a good guy." So I'm not going to be on a campaign to try to make his character seem better than the general perception. I pretty much see the same Suge everybody else has. And anybody is definitely going to have someone closer to them than the public that's going to feel fond of them. That's just life. You have a team, you have a unit. How far he allowed those good vibes to stretch out beyond his very most inner circle, I can't judge. I haven't heard about a lot of good things that Suge did. I did appreciate the Mother's Day dinner that he threw every year to celebrate the black mothers and give them a chance to come out and see Beverly Hills. My mother got to participate and meet a few celebrities she was excited to meet. That's one good thing I could say that I saw Suge dedicate his time and energy towards.
All right.
You use word like a lot, though. I don't know about a lot.
Oh, okay. All right. You
feel me?
Maybe.
I'm pretty precise with the words I choose to utilize. It's what makes me most appropriate to sit on this throne is the one.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is a game of words, hip hop, right? At least it was supposed to be.
It's a what?
A game of words.
Yeah.
A battle of words. Yeah, I'm the one.